Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hey, what's up if you're new? So a couple of months ago I made a video titled, "Are these goth brands racist?" And to my surprise, that video kind of made a little wave throughout the alternative goth community, and I was actually surprised that so many people shared the same opinion and the same feelings that I did towards that topic. So after that video was made, I got a lot of comments about, so where can I shop for clothing where brands do support people of color and etc. So this video is basically like a follow-up to that video. Just a little recap on that video if you haven't seen it. In that "Are these goth brands racist?" video, I researched why those three major influential brands had no people of color within their marketing, online, social media, and campaigns. From what I had gathered, there was no consistent effort to be racially diverse or racially inclusive, and I was basically questioning why. Why don't we see people of color in goth and alternative clothing stores? Why is it always just one race, which is predominantly white? I know for some this terminology, racial diversity and inclusivity, is somewhat new. You're unfamiliar with it, but don't worry, I am going to explain it. If you're familiar with my videos, you know I love a good definition. I like definitions because it just brings us all on the same page of understanding. So, what is diversity? Diversity is the range of human differences, including but not limited to race, ethnicity, gender, identity, sexual orientation, age, social class, physical ability or attributes, religious or ethical values systems, national origins, and political beliefs. Now, on the other hand, inclusivity is the involvement and empowerment where the inherent worth and dignity of all people are recognized. Inclusivity promotes and sustains a sense of belonging. It values and practices respect for the talents, beliefs, backgrounds, and ways of living of all people. So to me, inclusivity is like one step ahead of diversity. So a brand could be racially diverse for a profitable gain. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're racially inclusive. And the crazy part about this is some people can't understand why racial diversity and inclusivity is important. And basically it's like this. Businesses who struggle to put diversity and inclusivity at the heart of their business are not only risking their reputation, but their potential sales. For example, a brand that only uses white models in their marketing, that's not a good look for them, unless they're trying to send that message. Personally, if I'm shopping a brand, whether it's online or in-store, and I'm only seeing white models in the clothing, one, I already don't feel accepted in the store. Okay, I'm gonna just be real with you right there. I don't feel accepted in the store. And then secondly, I start to wonder, like, what am I even gonna look like in these clothes? Because I have no idea if that's gonna look good on my skin tone. I have no idea. So from those two feelings that I get automatically, if there's just like one race being represented by the store, I don't feel welcome, I don't feel accepted, and I have no idea what I'm gonna look like in their clothing. So do I have an interest in shopping there? I might give it a try, maybe, but I don't feel represented, so maybe I shouldn't shop there. Also, going back to that video that I made, "Are these goth brands racist?" I got a comment about one of the stores being established in Poland, and her comment said, "This store is in Poland, and out of my entire life I've lived here, I've seen probably less than 10 black people, so I can understand why they don't have any black models," and etc. And just to rebuttal that whole comment, if a store has the ability to make a profit enough to hire a model, to make an ad campaign, or to promote their business, they have the opportunity to hire a person of color model for their store. There is no legitimate excuse as to why they couldn't hire someone to make their brand more diverse. And honestly, it's super easy nowadays to do that. There are these things that we have called modeling agencies where the modeling agency will find a perfect model for your company or your brand, and boom, you're a diverse brand, you're appealing to more people, your reputation is looking great. Or you can take the other route that's probably a little bit more cheaper, where you can get an influencer to literally do a photo shoot for you and by your standards, and it can be just as professional as hiring a modeling agency to do it. So there's really no excuse as to why a brand shouldn't be or can't be racially diverse regardless of geographical location. So that's another issue that I did want to bring up. It doesn't matter where you're located in the world, okay? You can be a racially diverse brand if you put the effort into it, and that is really the issue here. Diversity and inclusivity could help a business or brand profit more, and that's not just my opinion. That is statistically proven, and you can look it up if you don't believe me. However, with that being said, we don't want these brands to just start being diverse for the sake of yielding a profit or gaining more money. We want them to integrate people of color into their marketing campaigns so that it can aid our society in accepting our differences with one another, and also allow us to feel and be more equal within a community. Without inclusivity and diversity, many people are dismissed. It's completely unfair. And I truly believe that if we don't talk about it, it's never going to change. And this is another argument that I frequently get. It doesn't matter if there are more white people in the goth community than people of color. Again, this inclusivity and diversity will welcome more people to it. How can there be more people of color in the goth community if we've never been represented and we've always been dismissed? There's never been, okay, yeah, we're all equal here. Like, if that was the case, then there wouldn't be a lot of us struggling to identify with goth because of the judgment that comes with it. So how can we join a community where we don't even feel welcome because there's no one like us being represented by major influences? Now, there are influences within goth music and alternative music for sure, but when it comes to clothing companies who do have a major influence, we hardly see that. These new goth brands would just be more inclusive. It would open up so many doors for growth for them, business-wise and socially for people. So not only is it influencing them, but it's making an impact on the world and their customers and just people in general. So this goes far beyond, oh, these clothing companies are just marketing to white people. This is a very important thing for society just in general, and it's not me reaching because I want attention. It's me fighting for something that most people have been dismissed in for so long. And you'll never hear me be quiet about this ever until we start seeing a bigger change in the community, which I happen to think we are. Recently I saw that Marilyn Manson was on the lineup for Astroworld, which is a predominantly rap festival. So if Marilyn Manson can play at a rap festival, I'm pretty sure that goth companies can make more of an effort to be racially diverse and inclusive. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing 6 alternative goth brands I feel are setting the example when it comes to being racially diverse and racially inclusive. I just want to say too that it was extremely hard for me to find brands that were cohesive, that did all of these things. What I was mainly looking for is consistency, and I feel as if a brand is consistently putting out diversity within their company, marketing wise, social media wise, and all that jazz, then they are progressing towards racial diversity and inclusivity. So although a brand might post a person of color on their Instagram once. That doesn't give them the gold star for being racially diverse. That could have been used for the sake of just profiting off of that. They may have not even paid that person to be in the photo. They may have just used someone else's photo to make them look good. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they're being diverse or inclusive because they used a customer's photo. But I can say, although that they are posting that photo, it does give them some sort of credit in that specific scenario. I personally think that inclusivity would mean going the extra mile and paying a person of color to model for them. So for instance, paying an influencer to post something in their clothing, paying a model for their website, paying a model to be in their campaign marketing. It goes beyond just reposting. It goes beyond supporting them as a person and their talent and their craft or whatever it is that they're using them for, and them receiving some kind of credit back for it rather than just exposing them. But like I said, this is such an unspoken topic that it was really hard for me to find brands that met all of the criteria that I was applying for them to be racially inclusive and diverse. But I feel like these brands that I'm going to be talking about are making more of an effort than most. I'll explain how and why whenever we get to a certain brand. So the first brand on this list that I'm going to be talking about, most US people will know that it is racially diverse and inclusive. It is Hot Topic. Now, the reason why I have included Hot Topic on this list today is because they've been around since 1989, and I feel that they were truly one of the first alternative goth brands to integrate people of color into their marketing. Since Hot Topic has been around since the late 80s, I'd imagine they've gained experience with the demand for diversity and inclusivity over time, which is something that these newer goth brands don't necessarily have. But if that is the case, I feel like these newer brands should be looking to Hot Topic as an example or a mentor of how to become a more racially diverse and inclusive company. Going on to Hot Topic's website, you can immediately see on their homepage that they have a model of color. And then going throughout their entire website, every single page includes someone of color. There is a diverse group of people within their website modeling their clothing. Not only are they racially diverse, they offer plus-size clothing. Not only do they take in consideration of the race, they're also taking into consideration of different sizes of people. So it's not just racial diversity that they're including into their brand, they're also being more diverse when it comes to body type. And I know what you're thinking right now. Hot Topic is not a goth brand, and I will wholeheartedly agree with you, but it used to be a goth brand. As time has progressed, Hot Topic's merchandise has also changed. But if you were familiar with Hot Topic in the early 2000s, it definitely was more of a goth brand. It housed a lot of goth brands like Lip Service and Trip, and there was a lot more goth-oriented clothing in the store at that time. And also, we have to give credit to Hot Topic being the entire reason the slang terminology mall goth exists. If you were around in the early 2000s and you shopped at Hot Topic, you most likely hung out in the mall just because it was something to do and it was your free time and you probably wore all black and etc. Mall goth was coined and invented entirely because of Hot Topic. But anyway, I just wanted to bring Hot Topic up because they are #1 when it comes to being an alternative store, but including diversity and inclusivity into their brand. if Hot Topic can do it, I'm sure newer goth companies can do it too. So moving on to number 2, Jawbreaker Clothing. Now this is a women's and men's clothing store. I think that they just added men's to their website, which is extremely exciting for them. As for racially diverse and inclusive, this brand hits the nail. I feel like this brand is so slept on, and it's kind of a shame. I know firsthand that they aren't racist because, one, I have been an influencer for their brand and I have modeled some of their clothing. Some of their clothing has been in my social media, and I have also made a video that features some of their clothing as well. So if they're willing to work with me as an influencer, it's already proof that they aren't racist. To continue about this brand is they've got, you know, new goth clothing, they've got Victorian goth clothing, they've also got a little mix of punk goth clothing in there as well. And I've purchased from this company before I became an influencer for them at one point, and the quality has always been exceedingly amazing. I know with fast fashion the quality is just so hit or miss sometimes, but I'm telling you right now, Jawbreaker Clothing, their stuff is really, really good. I'm just going to say that Jawbreaker has people of color in their marketing, their online models, and they have them all throughout their social media. So this is a brand that is covering all aspects of racial inclusivity, and I highly recommend that you check them out. This is a brand that I think has the potential to be big. They're already being trendsetters by doing this, so I really, really love Jawbreaker. I hope that they start expanding more because they're completely underrated and I absolutely love Jawbreaker. Number 3, TripYC. It is a men and women's clothing brand, and currently they also are very similar to Jawbreaker in the sense where they are meeting all criteria to be a racially diverse and inclusive brand, which basically means, again, that they have a diverse group of models on their website. They have a diverse group of models on their social media, and they're also hiring diverse models for marketing campaigns. So this brand is hitting the mark. I also heard through the grapevine that TripYC used to not be as racially diverse, so it would definitely be interesting to see or hear that once they did branch out and become more racially diverse, they did see any growth in sales and in community, which of course I know that they did, but it would just be nice to hear them say that, like we began to make it our mission to include all races and etc. It would just be nice to hear a statement from them. I do respect a brand that saw potential and they made a change. Overall, their clothing is super bomb. But yeah, like I said, they are men and women's clothing, and if you've never heard of them, shop directly from them and check them out. Number 4, Foxblood, one of my personal favorites. This is considered a woman's brand, but anybody can wear this clothing, no matter what your pronouns are. Everybody is welcome to wear Foxblood. So Foxblood is definitely a racially diverse and inclusive brand. I can speak on this firsthand because I was a store model and I have done marketing campaigns for them. So one, if they're willing to hire me on as a model, they aren't racist, and then they do strive to be consistent in posting diversity through their social media, through their online store, and etc. So this is a brand that carries lots of witchy, goth, punk rock kind of vibes also. And not only are they racially diverse and inclusive, but they do also carry plus sizes. So they are another company that supports diversity in a variety of ways. They also advocate for the LGBTQ community, which is absolutely amazing. I personally love Foxblood. So if you've never heard of Foxblood, definitely check it out. I will leave links below to all of these companies, so you know, if you don't have the website or whatever, you can just check down below in the description and I will have those. So moving on to number 5. 5 is Black Craft Cult. Now, 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 5 is I wasn't entirely too sure about putting them on the list until fairly recently I saw them use a black male model on their website. And also I know that they're not racist because I did have a job interview with Witchcraft Cult about 2 years ago for a sales associate position. Unfortunately, I did not get the job, but the fact that they were considering hiring me just shows that they're not racist. So there's that. But going back to them being racially diverse and inclusive, having one black model on your site, that's some credit, but it's not enough. We need more. We need to see Latinos, we need to see Asians, we need to see color. Okay, we need to see color from this brand, but I will give them some credit because they do have that one token black guy, as always. So in this case, I don't believe this brand is racist. I just don't think that they're going the extra mile to be inclusive or diverse. If they were to make the effort to become more racially diverse and inclusive, I do think that they would become more profitable and they would appeal to more types of people. But on the upside, they do offer plus size clothing as well, so that's great. They are somewhat diverse, but they're not at the level that I feel like could be beneficial for them as a company and beneficial to society. So do I still support Blackcraft? Yes, I do, 100%. But I hope that they watch this video and hear me out and hope that, you know, they do hire some more people of color within their modeling. So number six is a really far-fetched, why did I put them on this list brand? But let me explain. Okay, let me explain before y'all go a little crazy, because y'all are about to probably drag me as soon as I even say this one, because I dragged Killstar and blah blah blah. But listen, hear me out. Number 6 is lip service. If you are unfamiliar with lip service, it is a men's and women's goth clothing company. Now, I didn't want to add them to the list because while I was researching if this brand was racially diverse and inclusive, I saw no dark skin, I saw no brown skin, I saw no type of tan, any color skin. All I saw was white skin. And the reason why I'm including them on this list is because on their social media, I saw that they had posted one of my good friends who happens to be Latina, but she is fairly complected. I also saw that they posted a black influencer, but it seemed as if that influencer was wearing a lot of makeup to make her skin look pale, but nonetheless she was black, and they reposted her. And then I saw another influencer who appeared to be Asian, or I don't know if she is Asian or not, but she looked Asian from what I could tell. And the fact that they are reposting it instead of completely dismissing it, that to me gives them some credibility, a little credibility. As far as the consistency goes, that brand doesn't really post much to social media, and on their website they only had white models, so they're only representing people of color throughout their social media. It's not on their website or in their marketing campaigns. So it's kind of like Blackcraft Cult, where they are somewhat participating and not being racist, but they're not making the extra effort to be diverse and inclusive in their brand. But I will say lip service has been around longer than Hot Topic. They actually opened in 1985. So for a brand to be around this long and not have adapted to change, I'm curious. I do think that if they want their company to grow and they want it to profit, then I highly recommend that they start using more diversity within their marketing, or maybe spending more on it to yield bigger profits if they want to. I mean, I don't think that they're a racist company, but I do think that they need to pay more attention to being diverse. So with that being said, I'm not saying you shouldn't shop at brands that are not racially diverse or inclusive, but I am hoping that you are consciously more aware of it, and once you do become aware of it, you use your voice to speak on it. If you see a brand that doesn't appear to be diverse or inclusive in whatever category category that I listed earlier. So it can be, you know, race, can be, I don't know, religion, it could be body type, disability, all kinds of stuff like that. If you see a brand that is not being inclusive or diverse, post them a comment, shoot them an email, send them a DM and say, hey, I just realized that your brand doesn't have this. Is your brand not diverse? Are you guys not inclusive? And I don't see any of that in your brand, on your social media, on your website, and just see if they reply, see what they say. And if you do this, especially if it comes to race, if you decide that you want to do this and they do reply, please share your response with me, because sometimes I feel like I'm a lone warrior fighting this. Although I know there's a lot of people who share the same sentiment, I feel like I'm kind of the only fighter that will approach a brand or say something on company's profile on social media or something. So if you do decide to do it and you want to share it with me, my DMs are open. They get multiple messages from people. They will have to consider making the change, because us as a community is noticing that it's not fair representation, and they're gonna have to do something to make us happy about it. Definitely shoot them a message if you see it and experience it. Now I kind of want to follow up with the brands that I had recently discussed in that Are These Goth Brands Racist video, which is Killstar, Restyle, and Dolls Kill. Now, I just want everyone to know that I don't think any of these brands are racist. I don't think that. I just think that they are not making enough effort when it comes to racial diversity and inclusivity. However, when this whole Are These Goth Brands Racist thing was going down, it did receive a lot of views on Twitter, and Killstar was the only brand to make a public statement addressing that they would try to make a change. And since that video, I have noticed that Killstar has posted more models of color, and as of yesterday or a couple of days ago, I noticed that with their Christmas campaign there is a black model. So Killstar is taking the initiative. They have heard our response and they are trying to incorporate that, and for that I respect them as a company and I will continue to support them. Restyle and Dolls Kill made no public comment about making a change within racial diversity and inclusivity within the goth and alternative community, so I don't really expect to see a change from either one of those companies. But I do just want to say, please keep in mind that this diversity and inclusivity issue is not just within the goth community. I mean, it's all over. And I mean, brands like Tiger Mist and Brandy Melville and all of those other Instagram influencer brands or whatever, they also have the same issue. So if you're not a goth and you happen to come across this video, do exactly what I'm saying. Contact the brand, post it publicly, see if they reply, talk about it, use your voice, because without your voice we're never going to see a change. So this is literally up to us to change if we want more inclusivity. But yeah, so if you've watched this video all the way through, I sincerely hope that you at the least have learned something new or found somewhere to shop. If you know of any more goth companies that are racially diverse and inclusive, definitely leave those down below in the comments, because we're all looking and we all want to see more color within our community, of course, and it would be absolutely amazing if you did share those down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. It means the world to me out there that people enjoy listening to me rant about things that I'm passionate about and that you're also passionate about. So yeah, just thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!